Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do a radiator upgrade. I bought the Koyorad. I bought it online off of Evasive Motorsports. It costs about $400. The reason, this car tends to run pretty hot during the summers, but I wasn't really wanting to upgrade it until next summer. So what happened was I took it out on a trail, and I don't know if you guys can see from here. I had to speed up the whole upgrade process. While I'm at it, I'm also going to be changing the thermostat. I mean, I thought I might as well, since I'll be removing the radiator, might as well get that done. And I'll also be putting these new hoses. I mean, they're a fancy color. I just got them just so I'm having new parts. Whenever you buy the radiator, you have to buy the cap as well separately. And here's a thermostat. It doesn't come with a little rubber gasket, so I had to buy that. I already put it on, but let's get to it, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the old hoses. There are two of these clamps on the top and another two on the bottom. A lot of you guys, if you're doing this, you'll probably have to drain your radiator first. Again, I don't have to worry about that. Alright, so now that I got the top one removed, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the bottom one. I might use a tray for that one, because I bet you there's probably still a little bit of coolant down there. That's where this comes in handy. And I always keep a big box to lay on since I'm outside. It also catches a little bit of the grease if I'm ever doing like oil changes and stuff like that. Oh, and in case you guys were wondering, I don't have a front bumper because it's a project I've been working on, so that's why. So my garage is kind of a mess. So on the bottom, I'll be removing this one. Oh, yeah. There was still some, and it's pretty nasty, so I'm kind of glad I'm getting that done. Man, that's a mess. Vroom vroom, zip zip, hardware noises, tool noises, knock knock knock, bang bang, radiator undoing itself, hurry up, zzz, ching ching ching, come on, come out, hurry up, boo. Okay, so there's 4 screws. There's one here, one on the bottom, needs to be removed. If I can get it removed. There. And then the same on this side. Size 12 millimeter. And that removes the bracket holding the radiator. The new one comes with a bracket already. As it'll go. There you go. Okay. Damn. I need to remove the thermostat first. I'm replacing that as well. Stuff done. What the hell? Well, that's not good. Okay. Oh well. Well, I'm gonna get this cleaned up. Look at all this corrosion. Ooh. This is supposed to be down, the 6 o'clock position. So I got the new thermostat in. One of the bolts got rounded, so I had to replace that. I don't know if you guys can see. Somewhere around there. The shiny one. Anyway, it's time to drop the new one in, the new radiator. Something that I probably should have said from the very beginning is this radiator is for a manual transmission because the automatics have the transmission cooler that runs through it. I don't. I have a separate transmission cooler. That was a modification I did a while back. But these two hoses are not in that radiator, so just something to keep in mind. Well, they're as thick. This one's a little bit taller, I think, but let's put her in and we'll see how she runs. When it has these two pins on each side to hold it in place, which that's nice. Ooh, that looks clean. So something that these 4Runners have is the radiator sticks out way too low below the subframe, and when you're on trails and stuff, that's an issue. There's also a kit of the, I think it's on, it's one of the Toyota pages, but they sell one that is like a low profile is what they call it, and it's above this subframe, so you don't run into that issue. But yeah, that's a very common thing that happens. There shouldn't be any modifications that you need to do to this. It's just a bolt-on kit. I'm just gonna hand tighten it. This is the cap. That looks good. I'm just gonna get the hose, probably the bottom one hooked up. I won't worry about the top one until I get the plastic back on. The top is longer. So it'll be like this. And the bottom one will go on the bottom, obviously. I was gonna use these as well. which goes in like this. Okay, I got 2 screws put in for this plastic cover on each side. Now the only thing left is to put this back on, which is pretty easy to do. Hope you guys get a good angle there. There's like 2 little pins on each side that kind of hold it in place. On the left side's not the most convenient. I might have to put it on from the bottom. Now once you get the 2 bottom pins locked in, you just secure it here. So the longer lip goes on the inside. Okay, so now everything's secured onto the top hose. Okay. Now, on to filling this one up. After this, I probably didn't even have to show you guys the videos that I did afterwards, but I went ahead and filled up the radiator with Prestone Platinum. I let it run and make sure I topped it off. I think I had to top it off like 2 or 3 times. I checked for leaks. One thing I did not notice is the drain plug was a little loose, so I had a little bit of a leak through there. I tightened it, and then I believe I had a leak through the bottom hose that connects to the radiator, so I changed the clamp on that. I have ran it on hot summer days, and she has been running at normal temperatures. It has not risen at all. It definitely carries a lot more coolant than the OEM one does. So that's about it for the video, guys. I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for the next videos.